What's up, folks? Max here, and I wanted to present a question to you guys. Ever since I got back from Comic-Con, I did get about at least 2 hours more of hands-on time with the latest build of Super Smash Bros. 4. However, this build was the exact same one at E3, so there wasn't any new and crazy surprises. There was just a lot more time to play and dig into the game and learn a bit more about it and what's going on. However, over the course of time, what this video is about is the reactions to Super Smash Bros. 4 and kind of my initial reaction as well. I would like to clarify that if you guys didn't catch any of the previous videos talking about this and my first time playing a whole bunch of the game, the overall reaction I had is that the game feels a lot different than previous Smash Bros. Games and feels more akin to Super Smash Bros. Brawl. A lot of people were expecting something crazy and fast like Melee, but overall the game is a much slower pace and moves have a lot more recovery and things like that, and this was really upsetting me when I first played it. However, over time and playing it more and just accepting that that's the way the game is, I kind of accepted the game a little bit more as a result, and had a little bit more fun when I was actually playing and getting to test out things with how the new system is. But what I want to talk about is the overall reaction now that the game has actually been in public hands, not just the hands of select press members and guys like myself at E3 and certain people that were able to get into trade shows. It was at Comic-Con, it's been at some public build events, and the overall response from some of these people is what I want to talk about because I think it's something that is interesting, that a lot of people are kind of saying the same thing. Overall, when I was at Comic-Con, there was a lot of friends of mine there was a lot of people from the industry that I personally knew that make fighting games and had never had the chance to actually try out the new Smash Brothers, and all these people had the chance to play it, and I wanted to talk to them about it, like what they think it feels like, because in my opinion game feel is really important. Now, like I said, I accepted that it was already slow, so I was just having fun learning the new Smash, but a lot of people and their first impressions, almost the greater majority of everyone I talk to says, wow, it feels sluggish, or wow, it feels really slow. And this was the greater response from a lot of people, and not only myself when I initially found the game, or other people that initially played the game at Comic-Con. There's a lot of other folks that have been popping up on message boards that get the chance to play the game. Anybody that's kind of played the Smash Brothers games before goes in and plays it, and they kind of say the same thing, that it feels really slow and kind of the pace of the game has dropped dramatically. So whether or not this affects competitive play is completely irrelevant. I think this is more akin to something that we're talking about just how much fun the game is. And I don't think that Smash Bros. 4 is going to be a bad game by any means. It reeks of quality from every regard, regarding the characters, the animations, the way everything is, but that might be a bigger issue, is that they're focusing a lot on animations, which we were talking before, and it might be affecting the game. And I thought this might have been me and Matt who've had similar reactions, and some other hardcore competitive guys had said something similar. But when I actually started to get the game in the hands of people at these shows that are not hardcore at all fighting game people, they're kind of casual guys, and even my wife, who's played every single Smash Brothers game since the late 90s, you know, on the N64, and even she said, well, yeah, it just feels slow. So this definitely is not something that's only me. This seems to be something on the minds of almost everybody that's getting the chance to play the game. You are going to have to make adjustments, and for anyone that has actually been asking me, what should I do to practice for Smash Brothers? What should I do, you know, to get ready for the new game? I totally encourage you to play Super Smash Bros. Brawl. That one is much closer to the speed of Smash 4, albeit Smash 4 is a little bit faster, but some of the moves do have that big recovery time. But outside of that, and outside of some things I might have talked about before, what I want to ask you guys now is this a problem? Do you think, even if you've had the chance to play Smash 4, is if the game is too slow, should they make an adjustment before it comes out? We are still a little bit of time before the game is actually releasing. It's coming out in Japan in about a month, and I have a special announcement about that at the end of this video. But do you think they're going to make a change? Would you like them to make a change? Would you like them to overall just speed up the game a little bit? Because as of right now, like I said, that majority opinion seems to be very prevalent with a lot of people. And what I would love for them to do, what I would love Sakurai and the development team to do, is something similar to what Capcom Games did back in the late 90s and the early 2000s. And what they did was they put a normal speed and a turbo speed on the majority of their games. And pretty much anyone that played the game and actually enjoyed fighting in those games played it on turbo speed. And that became the default for kind of how those games are generally played. And the normal speed was meant for people that just kind of want to hit buttons and have more control of the characters. You see this a lot in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and especially Marvel vs. Capcom 1. But I would love there to be something like that in Super Smash Bros. 4. I know it's just a change of the game speed, and it won't switch how things work with the recovery of attacks, which is kind of the bigger issue of the game. I just hope that they are listening to the feedback of people that have played it so far, and that in comparison to the other ones, it does seem to feel slower. Whether or not you guys accept this, whether or not it's a huge issue, really is irrelevant right now because the game isn't specifically out yet. I just think it's kind of good to get the opinion of everyone in special areas like this, like videos on YouTube, where hopefully Nintendo people can actually read it and understand whether or not you'd be okay with a slow Smash Bros. Game or okay with a speedy one like Super Smash Bros. Melee. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this. I had a lot of time to play more Mega Man, more Greninja, and I really enjoyed them. Like, I feel like Mega Man is my character because he's kind of a low-tier hero, I feel, in the new Smash Brothers. He's not going to be specifically amazing, but I do want to just play him and get good, and I don't care how bad he is because I feel a lot of people are going to drop him pretty quick for better characters. Either way, let me know what you guys think about this entire situation. Leave me your feedback below, and I appreciate thumbs up on any of these videos before the game comes out. And my special announcement is that I will be importing the Japanese version of Super Smash Bros. 3DS along with a direct capture device. Not only will we be streaming Super Smash Bros. Videos in about a month from now on the 3DS, it'll be direct capture and the footage should look absolutely amazing. I'm going to get a chance to check out the netcode to see how it handles overseas connections, specifically the West Coast to like Japan. But if you guys possibly are also importing the game for 3DS, let me know and we can maybe share some friend codes amongst each other to get some matches in that are potentially more local, and we can see how good the online for Super Smash Bros. 3DS actually is a full month before the game comes out. As always, dudes, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.